So here's a video of both just some interesting facts that I've found about the production and values and all that of early Federal, and a showcase of all of the memorabilia that I have, both right here on this table, and one extra thing that's quite special that isn't in frame because I cannot get it off the wall. Now, as far as general Federal facts relate to, that are at least able to be remotely applied to my particular specimen of truck. As far as that is applied, about the turn of 1920, there was about 25,000, roughly, Federals on the road. And many of these numbers are rough guesstimations, but are more accurate than no numbers at all. But yeah, 25,000. It's not a lot when you think about it, especially compared to the millions, plural, of Model Ts. It was not an everyday thing to see a Federal, and many people back then may not have ever seen a Federal due to this. And on the same theme of production, there would have been about 400 to 600 light-duty tractor Federal trucks produced only under the circumstance that their entire model line had exactly equal production of all of their different sizes and uses of trucks, which is not really that much, and that's at the high end, and it's an extremely specialized vehicle, so it's more likely to, or a lot more accurate, to take those numbers and at least chop them in half, if not quarter them. So if we do that math, then that is approximately 100 to 300 trucks that would have been made in a single year, in the essence of a tractor model truck that was of the light duty. Now, for mine in particular, it's only one that is known anyway, because it is a hybrid of sorts of the two different tractor models, because it shares many characteristics, because the majority of the characteristics are that of a light-duty tractor, and the frame even says UE, which is kind of frame that they used for a light-duty tractor, but it has the axle of a heavy-duty tractor, and every bit of evidence on that truck, as in like wear and tear, debris, and all this, has said that that axle has been there since the truck was made. It was not switched out, and if it was switched out, it was switched out right after manufacturing. And the serial number on that particular truck actually lines up with it being right near the end of 1919, which would possibly make sense as production around then would be lower and it would be easier to make special, more custom trucks like a hybrid, the sort of medium-duty tractor, as I've so gloriously nicknamed it. For a light-duty tractor and also partially a heavy-duty tractor, the price in modern dollars from back then would have been approximately, I would say, about $60,000 to $70,000, maybe give or take. And this is taking the price I found out of a catalog a few years later that featured all the same models, and I took the one from the tractor model and all the others too, and put them into a dollar inflation calculator for the United States of America, land where I live. And it roughly amounts to there. And if we compare that to the about $7,000 in modern dollars that would have been to buy a Model T, that's pretty expensive, especially back then, which just further limits both the production and the actual usability of companies to buy this. But that's enough of me bumbling about the truck and just general sort of fun facts about the production statistics and money statistics that align to that truck. All these are various different little things, and then I have a last thing that is very, very special and is about as rare as my truck. We have this plate here, which would have gone on to an early 30s Federal truck, and this is actually new old stock, and pretty neat thing. We have this pretty old Tootsie toy. Yeah, it's a Tootsie toy. That is a Tootsie toy of supposedly a Federal truck that still has all 4 of these original wooden wheels on it, which is very, very neat. We have this, which was made much later, in sometime in the 70s, late 70s, and is a Federal milk truck, and that's about how notable that is. These 2 advertisements are for various models of Federal in the mid to late 30s, including the van, which I actually quite like. I think it's a great looking van, and if I could ever get one, I would totally have one. But overall, they are not incredibly noteworthy, but these would have actually been from the year 1940, because it says for 30 years. And since Federal's founded in 1910, I think y'all can do the math. The last thing I have to go up for and hold the camera and hope that I don't touch the mic. In this, a one-of-a-kind porcelain flange sign that would have gone in a very small dealership that would have been relatively somewhere in Arkansas, in western Arkansas. And so far, this is the only one known to exist. And it would have been from approximately the same time that my truck would have been made. So I think that is very, very neat and quite special. And whenever I get the Federal up on its wheels again and rolling around, then that sign will follow it everywhere that it goes. But yeah, hopefully you got something fun, new, or interesting out of this video. And I will see you in the next one, which will hopefully actually be the part 2 to the Federal Motor Truck documentary, the world's oldest semi-project. Bye.